They have the same food every single day, every single meal. I mean, there's just like no variation practically. What you see for breakfast, you could very easily have for lunch and very easily have for dinner. I mean, there's like, for some reason, here it's like we have certain foods that are breakfast foods and lunch foods and dinner foods. There it's like just food, and it's all the same. And it's like really kind of funny and my parents got like really worried about this for a long time, and I was like worried at first for sure. It just didn't make sense how they could do it, but they'll leave the food out. They'll make it in the morning. They'll leave the food out under these like glass kind of container, like glass shelvings, and you can like see and you can like choose what you want. It's like a buffet style almost. And but they leave it out all day for like hours and hours and hours and hours. And so the food that you're eating in the morning is legit like later on you're eating, it was made that more like dinner time, you're eating that same food. And I don't know how that works sanitary wise, but it does. I think the Lord just blesses Indonesia super well somehow, and like normal laws of like food preparation don't apply there or something. I don't know, but anyways, so a lot of fried foods. The only I was kind of surprised. Like Indonesia's a lot of islands. I thought there'd be lots of different kinds of fish. You really only eat catfish for some reason, and it's good. The catfish is good, but yeah, that's like the only fish you'll have. You'll eat so many. You'll have the option for sure of eating the weirdest, gnarliest foods you can imagine. I've eaten every single part of a chicken from like the beak down to the feet. Literally every single part, and all the guts and stuff, all the insides and intestines, and then same thing with a goat, same thing with a dog, same thing. You just like it's totally mind-blowingly different what they allow people to eat over there, and like what's acceptable. There was a point in time where I was really interested in eating like every weird thing that I could possibly get my hands on, and so every time that like cow brain was offered to me, or like goat colon, or like dog eyes, and just I eat it all because I was I don't know, it was a cool thing to do. You're brand new in the mission, you just like want to experience everything, and maybe you should. And kind of the second half of my mission, like the second year, I got a lot more healthy. I avoided to an extent the meats that were offered. So I'd only eat meat if like people, like members, offered it to me at their homes. But otherwise, I'd get my protein from all like the beans and like tofu and I don't know, whatever else they have over there. But there's a lot of greens. It is really, really possible to eat healthy over there and become your body can be really, really healthy. And I learned that as I ate more healthy foods all the time, there's a period of time for like 8 months where I wasn't sick ever. Whereas beforehand, I was sick like pretty frequently off and on, But if you live off of these boiled vegetables, and it's rice with every single meal, but you get the vegetables, and there's just various sources of protein. You can live really, really healthy lifestyle over there for sure in terms of the food. So dog is a pretty not normal one. Eyeballs of any kind, honestly, it's just like weird. But you'll have eyeballs of goats and dogs, and you'd never eat the cats. The cats over there are like, they're like really disgustingly gross. So no one touches the cats, and they're all over the place. But let's see what else. Horse torpedo. Yep, it's exactly what it sounds like. Horse torpedo. Just horse in general. I don't know. I mean, anything else? Let's see. Yeah, so there's this dish in Medan. It's one city. It's off of Java, and if you're lucky, you can go to Sumatra. You usually, as missionaries, you have the chance to go to either Sumatra or Sulawesi. Those are the two islands that you can go to besides the main island, Java. And so I went to Sumatra, and that's Medan. The city over there that you'd serve in is Medan. And over there, they're allowed to eat pork because most of the city is Christian, and or at least more than 50%, which is abnormal. So they actually have pork over there because in other cities it's almost all Muslim. They would never sell pork. We have pork and they'll dip. They make this stuff called BPK, and it's basically just like pork that you dip in pork blood. It's been boiled and like it's really spicy pork blood, and it's more sanitary than it sounds maybe, but it's pretty good. It's unique, to say the least. They make the best drinks by far. When I came home, that was like my #1 goal, is to learn how to make all these drinks that they made in Indonesia, because they're so tasty and so healthy. It's like going to Jamba Juice every day, you know? They're just fruit all over the place. And so you can get mango smoothies and I mean there's all kinds of fruits there that don't exist here really. And so that's just wild. You can get extremely tasty drinks, and there's drinks all over the roads because it's so, you sweat so much all day. It's necessity absolutely to have drinks all the time over there. So you can find drinks everywhere and lots of fruit. You can't drink the tap, so what they end up doing is they give you you have to buy those 10-gallon jugs of water, you know, and that's how you drink. So unless you refrigerate your water, you're never going to really have cold water. Most of the time your water is like pretty warm or hot even, because you know they boil it before they give it to you.
Fried rice, that was a favorite. They have this thing called satay, which is chicken skewered, covered in peanut sauce. Usually has intestines with it. Intestines, they like those. There's this thing called nasi padang. They consider it the most, or with a meat called rendang. They consider it the most flavorful food in the world. Not the best, but the most flavorful. And I loved it. It's just got a lot of different spices and sauces, and it's so good. And then bubur ayam, I really loved that. The rice porridge with chicken and spices. Cobra, horse, giant lizard, dog. There's a lot, and even in some places they eat rat and cat, but I never had the chance to. I wasn't allowed to try that after a certain point in my mission, so.
I miss the food. I really do. If I could like eat what I ate there and just swap the whole diet for what we eat now, I would do it in an instant. It's so good. I think it's healthy. It's probably not as clean as some of the stuff we eat here, but it's very spicy generally. You don't have to eat spicy things all the time. Some Indonesians actually don't like spicy food. Some of my companions that were from Indonesia preferred not to eat spicy food, but I personally loved it. I liked spicy food before I thought I did. I didn't really know what spicy was in an Indonesian perspective, but I grew to love it once I got there. Pretty much every meal you're going to have rice, white rice with some sort of vegetable, and then some meat. Generally chicken is the most common one. Some fish, beef. If you want pork's like it's very rare because Muslims don't eat pork. It's like a forbidden meat. It's not clean. I know in that area I mentioned Medan, it's a very Christian area. They're famous for their pork because they sell it on the streets because almost everyone's Christian. But in Java, I think I ate pork like 2 or 3 times, and it was probably at a member's home. So that was different. I ate dog. It was very spicy. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good necessarily. I ate horse, chicken feet, king cobra. These aren't things you have to eat. I was kind of just there. I wanted to try everything. They'll actually give you a shot glass of cobra blood, and on the signs at least it says it helps with diabetes, arthritis, boosts your immune system, and I only got sick a couple times on my mission. So I actually attribute my health to taking Cobra shots twice, like a year apart on my mission. I don't know if that's true. I'm not going to say you should or shouldn't do it, but I don't regret it. I'll just say that. But yeah, I love the food. Generally, it's very cheap to eat on the streets. You will want to pick and choose which places you go and don't go to based on whether you believe it's clean or cleaner. But you kind of, as far as meals go, you eat breakfast at your home, at the house or the apartment or whatever. Usually I would just do something simple like oatmeal that I bought from the store, or cook up some eggs with rice. Pretty simple stuff. Fruit. Indonesian has amazing fruit. Stuff I've never even heard of. It's weird. It's stuff you picture coming out of like a Dr. Seuss book. It's got like this weird hair coming off it, or spikes, and all sorts of colors and shapes, but it's really good. So definitely indulge in the fruit while you're there. But generally eat breakfast at the mission home, go out, start working, and you get lunch. If you take a lunch break, you'll get lunch just at a shack, essentially, or like a food cart on the side of the road. They'll have several different options of what you want with your rice. So they'll give you some rice and then some vegetables, which are very good. The vegetables are super good. And then you can choose, if you want tofu or tempeh. I didn't know what tempeh was before. I think it's like a soybean product, but they can fry it or boil it. It's super good. I don't really like tofu very much. And then some meat or some sauce. It's really spicy. It's really good. And you eat it with your hand, generally. I guess a lot of places you can use forks or spoons, but Indonesians always eat with their hands, with your right hand, not your left hand, which I might discuss later. So you'll learn like the way. You kind of scoop it and then pop it into your mouth. And that's how you do it. Dinner, same thing. You'll just stop somewhere, or you can cook it at home, but you stop somewhere and just grab something from the food shack. But super good. They have it's called sambal. It's kind of like a paste, like a tomato paste consistency, but it's of spices. And they grind it up in what are those things called? It's like the stone bowl with the whatever it's called. Yeah, they grind up the chabes or the peppers fresh, probably every day, and it's very good. So as far as food goes, I'm assuming you'll probably love it.